I'm John Harwood with the New York Times and CNBC. The Pennsylvania Democratic primary has already brought us a surprise in this race. The surprise is that it matters at all. This is a Democratic primary calendar that was built to be over in early February. That's what Hillary Clinton was counting on, but it didn't work out that way, and now an extended race is Hillary Clinton's friend. In the state of Pennsylvania, she could not have a more favorable demographic environment. A lot of older voters and blue-collar voters, white blue-collar voters who have been very favorable constituencies for her. She's been pressing hard to try to get an impressive victory here, but of course Barack Obama, who's got a big edge in financial donations, is fighting back hard, trying to keep down her popular vote margin and any victory in delegates that she pulls out of here to keep his status as the frontrunner in this race. I want to bring in my New York Times colleague, Jeff Zeleny, and talk, Jeff, about what makes this race different from the recent primaries that we've seen. The first thing is, we've had 6 weeks to campaign. It's almost like Iowa at the beginning of the process.
It feels like Iowa, although it's a little bit warmer out. But really, what's happening here? There are thousands of supporters, campaign strategists, volunteers, many people who actually worked in Iowa. And this almost has a bit of a general election feel to it. They have operatives blanketing the states, et cetera. But really, throughout January and February, all these contests were sort of thrown together. The campaigns really have had time to organize, and that could be an advantage to Senator Barack Obama. But right now, as you said, the demographics favor Senator Clinton, and she's counting on that for a win tonight.
Let's talk about tone and tactics. One of the things that strikes me as different about this race, Barack Obama has been tougher, sharper in going after Hillary Clinton at the end of the campaign than in some previous contests. Why is that happening?
Well, the reason Senator Obama is being sharper, and you really heard it on Saturday, Sunday, and then again on Monday, is that he realizes that through some of the other contests, Ohio and Texas, he did not close as strong as he could have closed. So now he's really saying the voters have a choice here. It's been sort of confusing for some voters because he's been talking about Senator McCain as much as Senator Clinton. So in the final days, he wanted to remind voters that they have a choice in the Democratic side of this ticket here, and he's really hit her quite hard, harder than he has really in months. So we'll see if that works in the end here.
The deeper, Jeff, that we've gotten into this campaign, the further away we have gotten from a focus on the war in Iraq, which in the Democratic primary was helpful to Barack Obama, and the more we're talking about the sagging economy, which we've always thought was going to be Hillary Clinton's issue because of her husband's record in the 1990s and that blue-collar support. How has that changed the dynamic in the race?
Well, it's changed the dynamic in a significant way. I mean, Senator Clinton really has an advantage here when talking about the economy. But I've noticed over the last 3 days as I've been out with Senator Obama, at every stop in every town, he begins his speech by reading some type of local job statistic. So many people are out of work because of this plant closing or that plant closing. He's really trying to connect with voters on the economy, but this still is a big advantage to him. But in the final days in the campaign, Senator Clinton still put up her closing ad about safety and security, and Senator Obama responded with his ad, reminding voters that he did not vote for the war in Iraq. So the economy is the main issue, but it still comes back a bit to Iraq.
Jeff, you're talking about connecting with voters. One of the things that we saw early in the campaign, lots of huge rallies for Barack Obama, and some in this state as well. But it also seems that the campaign's trying to put him in smaller settings, more intimate settings, where people can see him as a candidate close to people and not somebody who simply is a rock star drawing big crowds.
That's right. The movement of Senator Barack Obama has been really good for his campaign throughout the year, but it's also been a bit of a detriment, his campaign strategists believe. In focus groups and things, some people say, we're not sure if we're comfortable with this movement. So really the rallies sort of went away for almost a month and a half. They're back here a little bit now more because rallies are good organizing tools. 35,000 people in Philadelphia on Friday evening. That's really pretty extraordinary. 10,000 last night in Pittsburgh. But the image that the campaign wanted voters to see on their evening news was the image of Senator Obama surrounded by maybe 30, 35 people under a blooming dogwood tree, I think it was yesterday, and that was the image. They want to have him surrounded by people because the movement thing is a negative for some people.
Let's talk about financial resources. Obama's had a 2-to-1 edge in television advertising over Clinton. How much does that help, given two factors? One, Clinton's already universally known, and so is able to get her message out in part with that help. And second, is there a danger of overkill in the advertising? How much does Barack benefit by all that he's put on TV?
Well, A, it really raises the stakes for him, and it raises his expectations here. He has outspent Senator Clinton at least 2-to-1. In the end, it might probably be more than that. but he has adds up. If you watch the news at any hour of the day, it's Senator Obama, 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 interspersed a bit with Clinton. But I think the financial advantage really is more than we can equate here in the end, mainly on the ground game. They have so much going on, phone calls, door knockers. Every undecided voter is supposed to get a knock on their door twice in the last 48 hours from the Obama campaign. The Clinton campaign does not have the money to do all these resources, so money is a big thing. And going forward, if this goes forward to Indiana and North Carolina, how can Senator Clinton raise money and compete? That's one big challenge for her.
Let me close with this question. We're standing outside the Park Hyatt Hotel here in Philadelphia, where Hillary Clinton is planning what she hopes will be a victory party tonight. Barack Obama is going to be in Indiana tonight. Why is she here and why is he there?
Well, Senator Clinton, if she wins today, as she expects, she wants to claim victory here and move forward. She's not as strong in North Carolina or Indiana, where their primaries are in 2 weeks on May 6th. Senator Obama knows he's most likely not going to win here. And if he does, all the better, because he'll be in Indiana taking that energy with him. And he has a rally in Evansville, Indiana. It's a town in the very southern part of the state. It should be Clinton country. He's not campaigned there at all, but he is going down there to appear with John Mellencamp. And he's going forward regardless of what happens here in Pennsylvania.
Thanks, Jeff. We're going to be checking back with you throughout the day, looking at a couple of the key dynamics in the race, the role of age in this campaign, as well as the role of blue-collar voters and the influence that they're going to play as both campaigns are rushing to get their voters to the polls today.